Good evening. My name is Poltrack. I'm an attorney. I practice commercial litigation here in Crown Heights. I'm running for Vada Kol. I have a slightly different paradigm of what the Vada Kol should be than perhaps some people have heard or understood in the past. Someone mentioned earlier running for political office. I don't see Vada Kol as a political office. When someone runs for a political office, there are various groups of constituents, and they try to cater to this group of constituents. They say they'll take from the rich, give to the poor, you'll make this people happy, this guy happy. I think Vada Kol is very different. We're all one constituency here. We're one kehillah. We have one set of agendas. We have one agenda. We have one set of priorities. We want to do what the Rebbe wants from us and to have a successful, flourishing kehillah. I see the role of Vada Kol more as the shluchim of the Kol to supervise what needs to be done. And to coordinate. The Vada Kol is only 3 to 7 people, depending how many votes they get. The Vada Kol can't do everything. There are wonderful meisters here in the Shechina, wonderful chesed organizations. And Vada Kol is sort of a supervisory body, an umbrella organization that can coordinate all of that and can supervise it. That's why the most important thing, I think, in choosing someone for Vada Kol is to choose someone who can bring transparency, someone who can bring integrity, and someone who's I'm not promising you to give you something, or I won't say no to taxes. I think Masa Kol is very important. I think everybody must be involved in the kehillah. I think everybody should take an active role and contribute whatever they can, financially, and volunteering, and just getting involved and caring. I think we've lost a little bit of that sense of community that we used to have, of one community, that we're all responsible for each other, we're all in it together. I think it's very important that we restore that. There are several very important issues that we're facing right now. Some are actually have risen to the level of a crisis that we have to deal with, and we can only deal with it as a unified community. And I hope you give me that trust to be on the Vada Kol, to supervise it. My commitment to you is to work with you, and hopefully together we can accomplish a lot. Anytime anybody has. I also think it's important for us to hire professional staff in the community council to implement the programs, rather than the Vada Kol members being the ones to decide who gets what. There should be a system. Vada Kol is a board of directors at the end of the day. It should be there to supervise that everything is flowing in the right direction, everything is being done right. Having said that, I think it's important that we're in touch with the community, we hear what the community has to say. Both now and if I am elected, I encourage anyone who has any suggestions or questions to email me. My email address is mashiachnow@gmail.com, very easy to remember. Feel free to email me with any questions or suggestions, and I hope we can work together. Some of the things I hope to work on, I'd like to mention very briefly. Firstly, I think it's very important for the community that there's like was mentioned earlier, Rabbi Holtzman has a wonderful organization, Yad V'Ezer. There are many chesed organizations here in the community, but there are many people who have all kinds of problems who don't know where to turn. It's very important for there to be some central clearinghouse or somewhere where people can turn when they're in need, whether it's financial need, whether they have medical problems, mental health problems, counseling, shalom bayis, problems with children, whatever it may be. There should be somewhere where there are trained staff, social workers, who can direct them in the right direction. People need help with the government bureaucracy, applying for government programs, for Medicaid, Medicare, whatever it is. And the council, this organization, this central clearinghouse should take an active role, proactively seek out people who need help. Somebody might call, they have a problem with their children, or there might be a financial problem underlying that's causing that. And there should be someone there to take an interest and follow up and make sure everybody's getting the help they need and deserve. Another problem that Rick Adana mentioned is it's a glaring problem today, is the problem of youth, and that too, it takes a community to address that. It's not something that 7 people can solve, but if we work together, and together with getting the right funding from the government, from private funding, and together we can definitely make a difference and move things in the right direction. Similarly with tuition, limit is a tremendous crisis. It's something that has to be addressed from both sides. I want to business need money. On the other hand, people have to be able to afford schar limud, and it's a terrible thing when people it's exeris parei, when people are afraid they can't afford to pay the tuition for their children. It has to be addressed from both sides. I think it should be a communal obligation to help basis accept children whose parents can't necessarily afford to pay for all of it. Just to conclude my background, I being an attorney, what I do for a living is negotiate, basically, and I do a lot of that. We have a big problem today with our Bezdin, there's a big machlokes, unfortunately. I think it's very important that the Vada Kol not be a side in the machlokes, but rather help to move the Rabbanim, to mediate between them, or to encourage them to work together, even if they don't make friends tomorrow, which we hope they will, but at least they should work together. My background, I successfully negotiated an agreement between the Rabbanim before the recent election for the Bezdin, and both the Rabbanim signed the agreement to have a neutral election. Unfortunately, certain people had their own interests on mine, sabotage that, but I hope to be able to, I'm asking the mitzvah, I hope to be able to finish that and to move that forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you.